One of the things that started playing on my mind a lot when I first began to dive into non-duality several months ago, and then more recently this letting go process that Michael Singer talks about in his teachings, was how is this different from spiritual bypassing? Spiritual bypass was a concept that came into my awareness when I'd been deeply inside a yoga, meditation, social service organization from the ages of about 20 to around 30. And there came a point when I started to reject some of the approach that I was taking on there. And part of what I experienced was that my emotional well-being was not being given full attention, and there was this emphasis on transcending emotions, but it wasn't really addressed. It was kind of, I don't know, just not given attention generally, it wasn't just about my experience, but I felt that on the whole, the emotional aspect of my life and the other people's lives in the community around me was, just not being given the attention that I felt it needed. And there were repercussions to that. I felt there was quite a lot of suppression going on, or avoidance, often in the name of surrender, but I felt it wasn't, somehow something was amiss, and this idea of spiritual bypass, like not looking at emotions and kind of just going straight to the spiritual, was problematic, and it was something that I didn't want to get sucked into, if that, there were of course many other factors and issues that were arising at that time that impacted my decision to step away from that organization and the practices and disciplines that came along with it. Although there was also a huge amount of positive gifts and elements that I received as a result of going through that intense period of spiritual practice, and perhaps I'll talk about that another time. But at that time I'd become a mother for the first time, which was a huge rite of passage for me, like it is for most mothers that I speak to. And there was so much to process, so many emotions, and I felt that I needed a softer, more gentle environment to nurture myself and what I was going through in that time. But now recently, since exploring, as I said, the non-duality teachings and entering into this conscious letting go approach, or practice rather, it feels different, but there was still this kind of niggling thought at the back of my mind, well, how is this different from bypassing my emotions? And because there's still this element of transcendence, but it felt different, and the more I practice it, the more I see what the difference is. Because what I'm doing now is, when a feeling, an emotion, a sensation arises, God, my hands are shaking. All this standing outside can be difficult, and I'm wobbling. I'll put the camera on something so it can stay still. When a feeling or an emotion or a physical sensation arises, I'm shining my light of awareness onto it. I'm not pushing it away or trying to avoid it, or in the opposite sense, allowing it to play out and disrupt what's going on, or getting entangled in it and taken away with it. Rather, I'm shining my light of awareness on it. I'm bringing consciousness to it and seeing it for what it is, which is a temporary energetic vibration, that comes and goes. Sometimes it might last for longer. Sometimes just by shining that light of awareness on it, it dissipates. And this is very different from the bypassing, because it's like, as I shine that light of awareness on it, as I said, I see it for what it is. It's not about me. It's something old that I'm allowing to release. And that allowing and releasing is very different from pushing it away or not wanting to see it, which is, I feel, what spiritual bypassing is about. It's the not wanting to see the emotions or experience them, but to go straight to the bliss and the spiritual states that are seen as being desirable or the goal, rather than being with the uncomfortable, icky feelings that arise as part of being human. So there's my reflection on this topic.